Hey there, I just wanted to give you a quick rundown on a trade that I just made, and I'm getting into a conversation with a guy named Ring Ring regarding some technicals, and he doesn't really believe in technicals. Well, if you're watching Ring Ring, I really want you to see this, see what I'm doing, see if it makes any sense to you, and if you want to learn more, there's lots of information out there, or I'll be happy to answer any questions you have. So what we're going with here is a pattern called the inverted head and shoulders pattern. What this is a reversing pattern. So you have a head here, you have a left shoulder, and you have a right shoulder. Okay, so this is an inverted head and shoulders. If you were to flip this across this line, you would have a head and shoulders. Now a head and shoulders is a pattern indicating it's going to go down. This is an inverted head and shoulders, meaning it's a pattern meaning it's going to go up. So this is how this works. Come on, if I can get my charts to line up properly. Alright, so if I can get my charts to line up here, in between the head and the shoulder, you have a neckline. The neckline connects the high point in between the head and the shoulder on both sides. So this line was drawn, and whenever it crosses up above that line, what you do is you take the distance between that line and the peak of the head, and you transfer that line to where it breaks. Okay? So you transfer that line to where it breaks, and this is your target area. This is your target area right here. So I actually just saw this. I'm going to go down to the 1 minute chart because that's actually what I traded off of. So I saw this, and I was in a little late. It actually already broke the neckline, had come back, retested this line, didn't touch it, which is very good, indicating that there's lack of selling and it's probably going to hold. So went back up, and I actually saw it right about here. I was looking at the volume, just kind of getting the lay of the land. I actually bought right here towards the top. So my entry was actually halfway into this target area, but it was kind of all I had. And I knew this was a short-term play, maybe for the next 20 minutes or so, 30 minutes, maybe an hour. And I'm going to bed anyway, so I figured I'd make some bucks. So I took the trade, and it instantly started going against me, of course, right? Now, again, I'm in the middle of this trade. I can't expect for it to just go gangbusters. If I did, then I would have got in here off of this volume bar, been instantly profitable after 2 minutes, and probably would have held through this pullback like I did over here. The reason I didn't sell on this pullback, and I was tempted to, obviously, I'm sitting there in the red. Stocks are going to pull back. These cryptos are going to pull back on every time frame. This one did as well, but the volume here was pretty low. I'm going to move my mouse so you can see. Look at those 4 red bars right there. The volume was very low. This last red bar had increased volume. I was hoping it was a bottoming bar, and it was. The following bar went up extremely quickly and on much higher volume than that 4-bar consolidation. And then the next red bar was again extremely low volume and just proceeded with a bunch of green bars. We had this huge topping bar, and I was actually looking away for, I don't know, 15 seconds, and this bar occurred. And I actually sold on this bar kind of right about here at about 7:17.92. I'm going to open my order history so you can actually see the trades here. So I bought at 7:04.29. Like I said, pretty much right here, almost at the high of this bar, 7:04.29, and then I sold at 7:16.02. So yeah, 7:16.02. It was a market order. I just wanted to get out. I probably could have had a bit of a better fill, but you know, whatever. The reason I sold up here, number one, this bar already spiked up really close to my target, and you know, these targets don't always get met. They usually get close, and that's okay. And as you can see, it's actually curving back up again. But the volume's light. Oh, that volume's not very light. That volume got heavy. Anyway, so this was my trade. I'm not too concerned about that. The reason I got out here is because this volume started flatlining right here. These 4 bars, that volume was negligible. Buying interest dried up. Someone took profits right here, and I wasn't about to let it get too far beneath me. I already took this bar. It already popped down and came back up, And then I was just watching. I was actually looking down here at the order book and the trades, and it was just sitting, not doing much, very thin. That's indicating there's not a lot of price action happening up here. So I just ducked out of the trade. I do want to get to bed and start my day tomorrow. We're going on a fun little trip, fun little family trip. So anyway, that's my trade. That's how I did it. I looked at the price. I looked at the volume. I saw my chart pattern based on my technical analysis, followed the rules, and it worked out pretty well. If you're wondering what about this move right here, yeah, you could take this one too. I didn't. I was done with my trade. I'm happy with that. If you have a system and you have a style that works for you, you really have to follow it and then be happy with your trade and let the chips fall where they may, because you don't know what's going to happen. You never do. You never know when they're going to break out. You never know when they're going to stop. You never know when they're going to gap down and fail for no reason. So you take the trades, you enjoy the profits, you deal with the losses, and you live and you learn. So that's technical analysis in a nutshell. That's a quick little trade, and there you go.